This is Ebony Man 2K. I would like to thank you for sharing your time with me today. Shout out to all the chat room members and listeners who may be listening in your car or at home cooking, working out, or just listening while you work. Your time is appreciated. Make sure you hit thumbs up and like, subscribe, and set your notification bell to all. Again, set your notification bell to all. You will not receive notifications from YouTube unless you set that bell to all. Also, if you're interested in binge watching my videos, go to playlist from my homepage. I have already pulled out the good ones and categorized them by type. Again, this is Ebony Man 2K, your host of Everybody Loves Strong Mama CHRISSY. We've been lied to, y'all. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, and run amok. There's more to this eviction story in Las Vegas than CHRISSY has told us. CHRISSY's out here with criminal charges, y'all. First, we're going to listen to what CHRISSY had to say earlier this year about her legal matters in Las Vegas. Then we're going to compare what she said with the information I have been provided by Clark County and the state of Nevada in regards to her legal case. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, and I'm back for another video. Alright, so I'm sitting in my car. I am getting ready to go into Sam's Club to find some last-minute coronavirus essentials, if I can find them, because every other store is sold out of everything else. I will be recording my journey to see what it is I can actually find. It's actually scary and crazy as to what's going on, and at the worst time for me. But since I don't have the kids with me, they're at the house. And since, I have a little bit of daylight and a little bit of privacy and time, I thought I would sit here and talk to you guys about everything that's being talked about me on the internet and clarify some things and tell you guys what's really going on. Over the last few days has been brought to my attention that everybody has been talking about evictions. That's been the word of everybody lately. That's been the topic of discussion when it comes to Strong Mommy CHRISSY. Eviction. I personally don't get why people are so invested. I think people try to do things and say things to pull me down. And it doesn't work that way. Life is a journey, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? In itself. So if I fall down or if I'm down on myself, that's one thing, but I will never let the next bitch make me feel one way or another, because I know nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Okay. So let's dive right into it. People are pulling up a public record that says that I have been evicted from my house that I'm in right now. And that is true and not true. And before everybody gets their little undies in a bunch, let me explain. When you hear the word eviction, or when you hear that word, it makes it sound like I chose to not pay my rent, or I'm trying to run off on the plug twice or something like that and get away with living for free. I make plenty of money to pay my bills, to take care of my kids. I do all of that. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm broke or I don't have the money to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But this situation is one of those situations of, I don't even know the word to call this. I don't know what to call this. These are one of those situations where, I don't know. It's an unlucky situation. Okay. Let me back up. Okay. When I moved into the house that I'm in, people said, oh, she got evicted, and that's why she moved into this house. Well, actually, my lease was up, and my husband had just left me. And you guys don't know the whole entire story, but when he left, he took all of my money out of my bank account. So when I wrote my check for my rent for that last month, it didn't go through. And so that's exactly why there was an eviction. But I was already out. I had already moved out of the house. But legally, I'm sure that's what he had to go through because both of our names are on the lease. We're on the lease, and that's what had to happen. My lease was up. You guys know I moved in what, July or August, and then I moved out in August of last year. So I did the full year. I paid my rent every month on time. I never had any issues at all, right up until the end when it was getting rocky because I was going through a divorce, because I was going through a separation because he left me. He took my money out of my account like the dog that he is. Okay, I didn't talk about that because I wanted to move forward off of that part, and I wanted to focus more on the fact that he left in my state and when he left, in which he left me. I didn't like, you can't stay in a place for free for a year. So I don't like when people come at me and they're like, "Oh, you didn't pay your rent. You don't pay your rent." I have to pay my rent in order to live. So I pay my rent on a regular basis. Now that was that. That was one of those. It was his fault, but my fault too, because I allowed myself to be in a position where he could have access to my money. So I took that L. I had no choice, even though it was really his L to take. But because, again, we signed a lease together, if he goes down for an eviction, so do I. If he goes down for something, I do too, because our names are tied together. So that's what happens. This time is a little bit more different, a little bit more serious, and a little bit more crazy. I don't really know how the law is out here in Nevada, or what is legal and what is illegal, or whatever, because I generally don't have these issues. Whew. But and this is really hard for me to talk about because I thought about not even doing this video because I don't. First of all, it's embarrassing, right? I hate giving people a reason to talk shit, even though, even more shit than they already talk about me. So that's why I really didn't want to harp on this, because it's just going to spark more and more conversation. And I really just want to dead the issue and pick up and move on. But it's one of those things, when you're a social media figure, you have to address it. So I'm going to address it. Because again, when you hear the word eviction, when you see eviction, you don't see what happened to lead up to that. All you see is, oh, she can't pay her bills. But anyway, so basically here's what happened. I pay my rent every month at the same time. When I first moved in, I paid my rent on the 1st. But then I asked if I could switch it to the day of the month that I got paid, or the day after the day after the day I got paid of the month, because I found it was easier for me to manage my bills if I pay everything when I got paid. Okay. And I did. I set it up like that with my landlord's wife, because that's who kind of handles the footwork of the properties and stuff. They own multiple. And I set it up like that with her, and we did it like that every month, and I did it like that again this previous time. However, we don't have the best, we didn't have the best professional relationship. I didn't really like her that much. She didn't really like me that much, but hey, you're my landlord. You got to have a level of respect for you. I pay my bill. That's it. But there was always this attitude, like when I paid my rent, I had to go to her office or their office to pay. And that's fine. I would do that, money orders, 3 of them, because I couldn't get over $2,000 from my bank. So I dropped the money orders off, and I get into it with one of the girls at her office over something unrelated, but just because she had a effed up attitude, and I'm tired of it. I feel like they're racist. I feel like they didn't like me. I feel like they never did. So it is what it is. I got my receipt, and I walked out. I left. This was right before. This was right before I went on the Houston trip. Okay, so I paid rent. I go on the Houston trip. The day I leave, I get a message saying that she's not going to accept my rent, my landlord, and I'm like, that's not even possible. You can't even do that. And I was just like, okay, because let me back up a little bit. When I got into it with the girl at the office, I was like, you know what? I'm going to move from this property because I'm tired of being, I'm tired of having to go through this every month. I pay my rent every month, and I don't have any issues with the payment. It's the people that I have the issue with. And so I guess she must have called back and told her what had happened and the fact that I said I was going to move. That's my, in my version of what happened in my mind. So while I'm gone, she texts me, the landlord, and she's like, I'm not going to accept this payment. I'm not going to accept this rent. And I was just like, why not? And she's like, well, technically it's late. It's part of the lease. It's due on the 1st. And I chose, I had tried to I set up like an off the record pay when I get paid because it was easier for me. And she agreed. And so we was rocking like that every month. It was never a problem. I see some people walking out with nothing, and they just walked in here. So that's not good. Probably looking for some of the same stuff I'm looking for. I'm not looking forward to this. But anyway, let me hurry up and do this so I can get in here. So, yeah, basically, so when she texted me that, I was like, you can't do that. You cannot tell somebody that you don't want to accept the rent and you want to say it's not. And I have text messages in my phone where we have agreed where, it was okay for me to pay her to pay during this time. Now, granted, I know there's a big difference between when I get paid and when the rent's due. I know that. But I asked, they accepted, and so that's what I was doing. It was never an issue until I got into it with the girl at the office when I went to drop off my rent before I went on my trip. So I was just like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Long story short, she said she didn't want to accept the payment. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, I paid you the full rent amount. What else? And I asked her, what else is it that you need me to pay? Like, do you need me to pay anything else? What is it that you need? Not saying that I owed her anything else, but just to remedy the situation. I'm out of town. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you to be whatever. I don't really like her, but the issue wasn't with her that day. So I'm not, whatever. So, she didn't respond. No response. I'm calling because, I'm texting you and you're not responding. So I call. I'm calling her. She's not responding. The next day, she shows up at my house, or her and the husband show up at my house with a constable, which is kind of like a constable or a sheriff. They help with, I guess, lockouts is what it's technically called, when they get an order from the judge that you can to make you vacate. I'm gone. They show up at the house. With the constable, whatever, and they tell my mom, who has the kids, they have 5 minutes to get whatever they can and get out. Like, they gotta go. And my mom calls me, and I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck? I'm going off. I'm confused. I don't know what the hell is happening. I'm not understanding why. You know what I mean? I'm not understanding what's going on. And it makes sense now because she didn't respond to me. So she was up to something. And that's what she was up to, planning to get us out, planning to get me out without saying something. And I just wish, first of all, going back, I wish I would have just gave her the shit and not said shit. You know what I'm saying? I kind of put my foot in my mouth by saying anything because they already didn't like me. And me telling them I was leaving probably made them be like, oh, you're leaving? Okay, let's assist you with that. Take care of it. I get my kids and my mom out of that situation. I tell them, what to do, how to do it, where to go. I get them set up in an Airbnb while I'm gone because this is an emergency situation. Understand how I felt because I wanted to fly home right then. I figured, okay, my kids are safe. They're with my mom. I'm here. I'm supposed to be working. And so I'm going to stay for this. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to stay. It was really, really hard for me to be in that situation and put a smile on. I was so upset. Being in Houston when all this happened made me upset. I was really upset. You can ask Jasmine. She was the only other person who I told what was going on, and I was like, I was crying. I was just like, I don't know what else to do, and so I had to put on a smile. So, I was looking back at some of the videos that I was editing, and I could see like how I just was like, even in my last video where we had drinks and we went out to eat afterwards, I was just like, I'm not in a good space. Like, I'm not in a good mood. Like, I'm not feeling like myself right now. And at the time, I knew why, but I just was like, I don't know why, but I knew why. It's because, all this stuff was going on while I wasn't at home. And, I was worried about my babies, even though I knew they were safe. I just was worried about everything. So, it was really hard to enjoy myself. I did have fun. I put on a smile. I put on a poker face for you guys to try to get these videos and these pictures, because that was the purpose of me going out there. But it was hard the entire time. Been difficult. Okay, it's embarrassing. You should just not talk so much shit and just kind of keep your mouth closed. I'm too prideful sometimes, and I just don't like to be disrespected. And if I feel disrespected, I speak up on it. And I think that's, sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's just like, maybe you should have just not said nothing and just made your moves in silence and just moved if you were gonna move or whatever. So anyway, that's that. Because if you look at the record, you can't see. I haven't looked at whatever people are pulling up. I don't even know how or why you would want to do that, how to do that, or why you would want to do that. But I have not seen what it looks like. But if you can see, there's nothing there that says I haven't paid my rent. There's no big balance there or anything like that. She didn't accept my last month's rent, but that's the only way she was able to get in order to get me removed. She couldn't have got me removed based off of previous months, because there was no back rent that was owed. I've turned it in. Like I said, I have text messages of her saying I'm not going to accept it, and she didn't. So I had my mom go get my money back from her while I was out of town. I said, okay, fine, you're not going to take it. And this was after she already did what she did. Now think of how traumatizing that probably was for my kids. I blame myself. I don't blame anybody for this. I blame me, because I should have shut up. I should have just paid my rent and just left it at that. I shouldn't have been talking and saying nothing. But at the same time, she knew I had kids too. And I feel like if you don't like me, or if you have a problem with me, then that's fine. Text me and say, I'm not going to accept your rent this month, or I will accept your rent this month, but you have 30 days to leave. Or, you have 7 days, a week, anything. Give me some time. Because I told her that I was out of town on business. She completely ignored me. And so, the whole situation, I feel like, it could have been handled a lot better, and it just wasn't. I'm angry because I feel like I said, I have kids, and she has children, and anybody who's a parent or a mother should understand, like, okay, I don't like you, I want you out, I don't want to deal with you anymore because I don't like your attitude or whatever. But take a week and get it together and get out. It just wasn't.
Everyone living in their home on April 1st counts. My aunt and uncle who live with us count. My mom's best friend who's been living with us, she counts. My new baby sister, she counts.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov.
There was just no warning. There was just like, okay, boom, you're out. You know what I mean? That takes care of that part. Okay. So this is why I said there are two sides to every story, and I had to, there's another side to this story, and I had to sit here and explain this, because the narrative that has been given out is just like, oh, you have the money, it's tax season, why can't you pay your rent? No, I paid my rent. I paid my rent. She didn't accept it because, we have our own personal differences, whatever. I just wish that she would have told me, I'm not going to accept your rent, move. And I would have moved in whatever time frame she would have given me, instead of putting me in this position that she put me in. So we've been staying in Airbnb. Got a nice house in the kids' school district still, so they're not far from school. And a couple days after I got back, I found another place, and that place is going to be ready for us to move into next week. So we're just going to be in an Airbnb for another week until we move into our new house. And at that time, I'll go and get all my stuff out of the last house, and we'll just move to a new house. I want to say this. There's never been any homelessness. I'm not homeless. I've been in an Airbnb. I don't have family out here to stay with. I don't really have any friends to stay with out here. So what is the next best thing? We're in Airbnbs, which are expensive. I've been shopping about $1,000 plus a week for Airbnbs. But I'm doing that because first of all, we don't have any family or friends out here to stay with. And I want my kids to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And so I'm just making this like it's a family vacation. Like we're just having a staycation until our permanent house is ready. So, this is a difficult situation. I cried. I've been stressed. I've been upset. I know I haven't been posting. I've been feeling like, at first, before YouTube found out about it, I was like, I don't really want to vlog, because if I vlog, people are going to know I'm in a different scenery. I'm in a different setting. That's going to be a problem. Then they're going to want me to explain, and I don't want to explain. And I just kind of, it's embarrassing. I don't make any excuses for my part in what happened. As a grown-ass woman, I don't think it's okay to have an eviction on my record, or to even stay in an Airbnb with my kids. Okay. But we do have a house. We are not homeless. We do have a house. We will never be on the street. We will never have to be in any position where they won't have a roof over their heads. That's one thing I can say, and I feel like any good mom would make sure that happens. So I'm blessed to have the resources I'm blessed to have the resources to keep us in an Airbnb until our house is ready. I mean, now, I know this is a hot topic and great for everybody to talk about. I just, I don't know, laugh at me if you want to laugh at me. Say I'm not shit. I don't know. Say I'm a bad mom. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not going to stop pushing forward. In life, you get knocked down, and I just get back up. I dust myself off, and I get back at it. And I will always do that. I'm not going to say I'm always going to be in this position. I pray to God I never have to go through anything like this again. This is the first time in my life I've ever had to do this, or go through this. I've always had my stuff with me. I haven't been able to go back to the house, y'all. I've been buying brand new clothes for the kids. They grabbed some clothes on the way out, but I've been buying brand new clothes for them every day. I've been buying clothes for them every day, and, or going to the store every few days, buying new outfits and stuff like that. I got on the same clothes from this trip. I didn't even, like I said, if I planned this, if I knew this was happening, like I would have done a whole lot better. I would have done a whole lot different. I got on the same shit from Houston. I'm washing and re-wearing the stuff that's wearable. I got some freakum dresses that I can't wear, like around the kids and stuff on a daily basis. But I've been washing and re-wearing stuff. I got my same shoes, my same leggings, my same little few outfits that I took out there. Look, this is hard right now, but I just keep telling myself, look, it'll get better. Stuff hits the fan, and it gets hard, and sometimes you fuck up and you make mistakes. And this is why I tell you guys, look, I get on here and I say I'm that BITCH, and I'm always gonna feel like I'm this and I'm that. And I do that because that is really how I feel about myself on the inside, but I'm also real, okay? And although if the reactors wouldn't have been talking about this, you guys may have not heard about this maybe until after I was already moved. I was forced to talk about this before I was ready. But I wanted to tell my side of the story because I'm so sick and tired of people making it seem like this is about money. Not every eviction or not every lockout or whatever you want to call it is about money. Sometimes it's about an indifference with your landlord, and that's my situation, okay? And I'm not saying that I've never had an issue with money or paying bills in my past, because I have. I've struggled like everybody, okay? But this time, no, honey. I paid my damn rent, okay? She just gave it back to my ass. Which is, I didn't know that was legal. I didn't even think that you could do that. But technically, according to, Google, it's within her. They don't got to accept shit from me if they don't want to. And nobody's landlord does. You don't have to accept anything. And honestly, if she would have accepted it, she wouldn't have been able to lock me out. So that's why she didn't accept it. Now it makes sense. But at the time, I didn't know that. I was just thinking she was being a BITCH. Like, bitch, why aren't you taking? What do you mean you're not going to take my rent? Now I know why she wasn't trying to take it, because she was trying to get me out. But like I said, it's embarrassing. I don't like dealing with it. I don't like talking about it because it's embarrassing. I have no excuses for why this happened. All I can say is that me and my kids are safe. We've always been safe. They're fed, they're clothed, they're happy, and we're moving. We have a house, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. My address gets leaked every time I fucking move. I don't care what I do. People who are doxing me right now, I mean, I could sue you, but at the same time, I have a team of people who go through and find people who are like using my name and using my pictures and videos and things like that. That falls under the same like privacy protection that I have as a YouTube creator. So, I mean, if you have pulled my records or anything like that, then that's probably going to be something that you're going to have to answer for in the future. But right now, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about making sure that me and the kids are good, and that we have what we need. We continue to have what we need, and we're going to move. And when we move, I'm just going to do things differently. I'm going to make sure that I have a better relationship with my landlord for sure. I'm going to have a better relationship. My new landlord is very, very, very nice. I just wanted to come out here and tell you guys what was going on, because I feel like everybody is treating me like I am some bum who tricks off her money in Houston instead of paying her rent or something like that. And that is absolutely not the case at all, especially when I never go anywhere. So I didn't even spend that much money in Houston because, honestly, I bought everything I needed before I got there, and all I really spent money on was drinks and food. So, I mean, that wasn't even that much. And the Airbnb, but that was only for 2 nights, so it wasn't that bad. And I got a credit for a night because the heat was not working. There was no hot water. But anyway, what was I gonna say? But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody who supports me even through my shortcomings, who supports me and the real struggle. Because sometimes I would rather have went through this in silence and not said a thing and just been like, pop up at a new house, like, I'm not a new house. But unfortunately, being at the level that I am on YouTube, I don't have that luxury. So it is what it is. Just gotta say, hey, this is what it is, and address it and move on from it. That's exactly what I intend to do. I don't know, like I said, how I'm going to prevent people from finding out my address. People have been making it their sole life mission to find out where I live and call my landlord and tell them bad things about me, or try to get me out of my house, or try to I don't know what it is that people want from me, but I don't know. So I was thinking about not vlogging at home. I'm not vlogging outside of my house or near any streets by my house ever. I don't know. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't know. But I can tell you it's a beautiful house, and the kids are really excited. I'm super excited. Even though I fell down, we're still blessed. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. All right, guys, I got to get in here. It's getting dark. And I promised the kids pizza and a movie night. So I'm going to go in this store and try to find some diapers and formula and all the essentials before they run out. They might not even have it. Fingers crossed that they do. So when I get ready to move, I'm going to go to the house, and all of our stuff is still there, like we never left. And I'm going to basically just move everything out. I'm going to throw a lot of stuff away because this is the last minute, same day move. I'm going to throw a lot of stuff away. I'm probably going to throw the kids' bunk beds away because a lot of them are like they need to be replaced. So, and I was going to replace them anyway. So I'm just going to leave their beds. We'll just have to get new beds, and then throw away a lot of stuff and just take all of the essential furniture and clothes and stuff like that and throw the rest away. And then we're just starting over. It's just time to start over, I guess, So, all right, guys. I guess that's basically it. I mean, I know people are going to judge this video and say, I don't know, whatever. I don't really care. This is all I have to say about this. I'm not talking about this anymore. I hope y'all can let it go. But yeah. So, and another thing that I want to say really quick is, this is the worst time to go through this. With this coronavirus going on, I'm so stressed out. I am so very stressed out right now. You guys don't even know, this is the worst time for this to happen, to be in between houses staying at other people's houses, and there's a killer virus going around. It is so nerve-wracking. And I was telling my mom and Jazzy the other day, I'm like, how am I supposed to stock up, prepare, sanitize when I'm in an Airbnb? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I have to do it anyway. I have to treat the situation as if I'm in my own house, because we're about to be in a situation where I won't have anything if I don't stock up. This is why I'm just now going to the store, because I've been like, oh, if I can just wait until I get into my place in a few days, I will just stock up and have everything that I need. I'll have a whole garage full if I need to. And then it's just like, at this rate, by next week, there will be no grocery stores. So I kind of have to bite the bullet and just find what I can and stock up where I'm at. So I love you guys. I thank you guys for loving me through the bullshit, through the pain, through the hurt, through the embarrassment, through the life struggles, through everything. And I will see you guys next vlog.
On the screen now, you see the past calendar month of January 2020. This is around the time CHRISSY started having issues with her landlord about rent payment. One of the things that is confusing to me is how CHRISSY is actually doing well in making money, but not so well in making payments. As you can see, after the end of activity of the month of December 2019, a report came out for December on the following January the 4th. Furthermore, the YouTube payout for the activity of December was issued on January the 21st. The 21st is the official pay date for YouTube content creators. Here's the problem with CHRISSY. CHRISSY is trying to use the payment from YouTube on the 21st to pay back rent that is actually due on the 1st. Basically 21 days late. I don't know where they do that at, but I don't blame her past landlord in Las Vegas for doing what she had to do and not accepting any more late payments and pursuing eviction. At this point, that landlord may have 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Well, I've come to learn that there's more to this eviction story than just late payments and eviction. There's a criminal piece to this story that has obviously been overlooked. The state of Nevada has a criminal case out on Strong Mama CHRISSY for writing a bad check of $1,100 on July 21st, 2019. That amount seems to be right at half of her rent, and that date is the YouTube payday. So I suspect that she tried to pay half her rent late and she didn't make enough money on YouTube that month. She was summoned to appear in court in January of this year, and she declared herself indigent at the time. Now I find that to be interesting, because she's sitting up here on her cooking channel eating expensive seafood like shrimp, lobster, and crab on the regular. As a matter of fact, on January 19th, she has a video on her cooking with Strong Mama CHRISSY channel right now called Major Seafood Shop with Me. How much did I spend? Single mom of 9, where she is buying mad food. But she telling these people in court a week later that she is poor and indigent and needs a public defender. Now somebody lying. Somebody lying. This case actually started out as a felony case, but was negotiated by her public defender and has been reduced to a misdemeanor. She was ordered to stay out of trouble, pay back the money owed, and to follow up with a status report, in person and in court. That in-person status report in court is scheduled for Monday, June 29th, 2020. Strong Mama CHRISSY is about to have a come to Jesus meeting this week, y'all. Oh yeah, she about to have a come to Jesus meeting this week. And believe me when I tell you, it's well overdue. Now, the source for my information can be found at the Clerk of Clark County, Nevada, at this website, The website is lvjcpa.clarkcountynv.gov/anonymous. I repeat, the website is lvjcpa.clarkcountynv.gov/anonymous. The case number is 19F25831X. The case number is 19F25831X. All right, that's it. Now we will go into our chat session. This is Ebony Man 2K. We're about to go into our chat and music session. But first, if you would like to donate via Cash App, the Cash App ID is $EBMN2K. That's $EBMN2K. If you'd like to make a donation via PayPal, send it to paypal.me/EBMNTWOK. That's paypal.me/EBMNTWOK. And if you'd like to send it via Venmo, send it to @EBMN2K. That's @EBMN2K. Thanks.